program this year is a little bit different. That we have done before is less students, but this year is about your art.
What's really unique about here is that we have this combination of having museum quality exhibitions and all of these artists and with all these programs. So they interact in a way that a lot of times when you're in a studio building as an artist, unless that whole entire community gets together and tries to open their doors out to the public, etc., it's usually based on that. And we're just looking forward to see what you guys create at the end.
So good morning. So I am Kristen DeAngelis. I am the Senior Director of Operations and Strategies at Mana Contemporary. And we're going to go see Dan Flavin, which is the lights in the beginning. We're going to see the John Chamberlains. We can pick and choose. And then we're going to land in the Andy Warhol. You know people. Like, you know people. You know Duda, who's connected to a lot of people and international people. You're here, you're meeting me. I know people. In this very special place, there's 225 artists and arts institutions in here. All of this is here.
This afternoon, we're gonna visit the exhibition that we didn't really talk about. The artist Cheryl is gonna be there. Talk a little bit about how she put the exhibition together. Ask anything, how you work with galleries, how you make your artwork. Anything, any question is something that might be important for you later.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl Gross. I have a studio here at Mana, and this is my exhibition, The Z Factor, the hybrid realms of Cheryl Gross. Yeah, all the time. Like sometimes like I'll be doing something, and that's why God invented erasers and tracing paper. I learned that early on. Like I would do something, and if I couldn't perfect it, or I thought I was perfecting it, and then it turned out that it wasn't perfect, I just decided to live with that and deal with it and work with it. So it's kind of like you're working with your weaknesses, but they're not really weaknesses because they're actually your strengths. So it's something to think about. You know, you don't have to be perfect all the time.
So hi everybody, I'm Omar Lawson. I'm from Queens, New York. I am a mixed media artist, so any given painting I have has at least 3 to 4 different kinds of paint, colored pencil, new materials I'm exploring with and seeing how I can further in my practice. I think at the center of my work, I place Black people and Black figures as signifiers of welcome in spaces that I'd like to see myself as well. This was called Rolex Illusion Film. I got it from Canal Plastics a while ago, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with them originally. But one day I was just working and I thought it'd be cool to implement them in the clothing somehow. So one thing I love about Rolex Illusion Film is if you take a photo with flash, it'll highlight all the areas that it's included in. I paint the back of the Rolex Illusion Film with acrylic paint, but now the material is a completely different shade. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can use this to my advantage. I just play with the lights and darks so that I can create, you know, the illusion of depth on the material.
Well, I've always been a portrait painter or drawer. And these are all oil paints, and these are people that I meet or people that I know, and I'm trying to just exude strength and power through the feminine form. I I think, like I'm always telling my friends, I have ADHD and I was always fidgeting in class, and I would just draw like all day, draw the person in front of me, draw the person next to me, draw the teacher. There are great teachers, but you just have to practice. So what I do is I get a model and I photograph out there, and I take about 1,200 photographs, 1,500, and pick my favorite like 2 or 3. And then in Photoshop, I put in the background and print it out. So I do what I want pretty much in Photoshop, print it out and paint from that.
What I can say about your artwork is that each and every one has their different type of power and aura and type of energy. I do like that because every time I look at something different, it tells me a different story, or it just looks different, it feels different than each other, and I really do like that because it has like variations. I do like that about your artwork.
Let me say one thing. Friday, we're gonna meet in the lobby, and at 10 a.m., we're gonna see Rebecca, a great artist. Then she does a lot of commission artwork, so she's gonna talk a lot about how she get commission artworks. And then you're gonna have a great time to ask her, okay, how you charge, how long does it take, how you deal with the client, all of that stuff.
I started about 25 years ago. How many people are studying art, and are you all in college? Okay, so I did that too. I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in painting, and then I ended up getting a Master's of Fine Arts in sculpture. And I got out of school and I realized that nobody had said a word to me about how to make a living. It was like, are you serious? I just got through 6 years of school. I wanted to actually paint for a living. And so I was trying to figure that out. Like, how do I paint for a living?
I wanted to know, since you do so many residential like areas, like inside the rooms and everything, those paintings, does it overlap with interior designing? And does it do you think there's opportunities like in those companies, interior designing companies, for artists to do stuff like this?
Yes, absolutely. They'll be the ones who will hire you to do murals. It was the designer. Well, in the case of those crazy big flowers, she knew me through like old friends long time ago. But that decorator that was working with her, the designer, she has hired me to do she hired me to do this. So, once you get in with a designer, they probably gonna keep hiring you.
Thank you for being here with us. I hope you're enjoying your time at Mana Contemporary. We are super honored to have you here, so thank you. My name is Isabel, and I'm the director of the Monita Foundation. Monita Foundation is a nonprofit organization with a mission to support the work of the artists and to be able to present what they do. And we do that through public programs, exhibitions, and residencies. I do want to say that I saw your portraits earlier. Duda was kind enough to share them with me. They are fantastic. So really good things going on here.
These portraits kind of serve as like a jumping board for what we're going to be doing for the mural wall. And I don't have any concerns for anybody whatsoever. I believe that everybody's on their own timeline and all of these portraits will be finished, no doubt. But don't be afraid to lean into what you think makes your art good and what you think will make it pop.
Right now, if you ask everyone consider themselves a conceptual artist. They say that there is a concept behind everything, every work. But I feel that it is not that true. If the audience feels there's a concept behind that, then I would consider, yes, there's a concept. And concept is not that much rigid, that only it can be seen from a particular idea and particular perspective, but it should be seen as a different perspective as well. And sometimes both perspectives could be right. So it's not that particular rigid thing behind the concept. It could be a different narratives. All of them could be right at the same time. All of them could be wrong at the same time. So it's all about, your own perception, your own experience with that particular object or with that particular thing.
Every year we do this game to break the ice, to have fun. If I say the color yellow, what is it? So you gotta write in words. Yellow is sun. Yellow is this, and that. Sometimes color create impact on people. I want you to think about what kind of color you're gonna use it. That's the whole idea of do this exercise. How we feel this goes together, the palette of color. So you see the connection happen throughout the entire mural. It makes me think about emotion, movement, feeling. But by color, it somehow it brings some kind of unity. So what I want you to do is, your assignment is, I just want you to take a photo of this, develop your own pattern, think about background patterns and color, okay? And then you're gonna have a chance to work in your own project, and you're gonna choose how much background you wanna do, how much stuff you're gonna do.
I am a trained oil painter. I can sculpt, I do video. I love photography, and that is mixed into my work. And now my new title is historian. So I work with universities around the world. They call me in, they ask me to go through their data. If I want it, I'm able to use it in my work. I am right now currently working on one of the largest murals of my career. So I like to create spaces for you guys to be yourselves. And the way you be yourself is through your art. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody. The government can't take that from you. No one can take what your voice that you have inside from you. So in your art, what I want you to do, if you learn anything from me, is do your art and put all of yourself in it. What I mean by that is, don't go on Instagram copying someone else's stuff. Don't do that. I see people do it a lot. Don't do that. Put who you are in your art. And that's how we all become very distinct in this world. That's how people can recognize my work or recognize Duda's work, because we all become, our work becomes us.
I am Daniel. I'm the former director of Vienna Public Arts. Passion for this started during COVID. We didn't have the ability to do any exhibitions indoors or any public activations, so we had to move everything outdoors. And we have a bunch of vacant property / storage buildings. We basically thought, okay, what if we just painted all of them and did a giant mural festival out of it? So if you want to go to the next slide, it's a quick video of the Jersey City Mural Festival. So this is all by the Holland Tunnel. This is such an important part about the process, and you guys know this better than anybody, as this is extremely important to document the process, having the artists at work, not just the finished mural. That's a mistake that a lot of mural programs make, is they just show the final pictures. That's not enough. You want to show the process, engage with the public in the process, and then create really good content over the course of 2 weeks, capturing the entire process in the rain, in the sun. And this one's obviously right outside, but it was a big production, and there was a lot of help in doing it. But doing a large scale festival like this, so many different pieces go into it, and you kind of need everybody to be firing on all cylinders.
being part of this program for a couple of years, like growing up in high school, like I've always been used to like either Amani or Maya kind of taking the lead. So being in this role has given me like a lot of empathy and like put a lot of my like skills to the test when it comes to like managing people, like trying to like, I guess like curate murals for other people and like assist other people the way they did for me. So it's kind of like paying it forward. So it's been pretty gratifying so far, but it definitely has also been a challenge, but a good one.
So you did how many years as a student?
3 years,
3 years.
3 or 4 years, I would say, yes, as a student. Being an assistant, it was first very humbling because, of course, I came from being a student. I still think of myself as a student because I'm always interacting with my kids, but I'm also in a position where I have to step up and mentor them and guide them through their artwork. I feel like I have the best of both worlds because I also can teach while also teaching them an experience I had when I was little while doing like a big project like this.
My goal for you both, and it's try to bring the teacher, the mentor in you. I say at the end of the day, I don't care if you have a hard time or easy time, it's about empowering you so you could do a mural by yourself. Okay, Hero, we're finally here. You've been with us for 3 years. First question for you, how was the challenge to make your own masterpiece this year?
Honestly, I was just really excited to be able to do like my own kind of piece. And I had a really good time doing it. I really enjoyed like working through the process of trying to figure out what would work together on the wall, what would work with like people next to me.
I really wanted to work on with myself for once and like have something that just shows me as an artist. And so I got to actually pick something that's dear to me that I've been working on for like 7 to 8 years. And so I had, even though I was stressed, I had a lot of fun. And now I'm here.
Having this entire wall, and it's bigger than anything I've ever worked on, having it the entire wall to myself forced me to think independently, especially because there were different proportions on the paper than there are to the wall. And so some things changed, most notably the lettering had moved to the top instead of the left side because of the tree that's blocking it. And so I also had to just figure out how to place everything at a size where people driving by would have it strike them.
We went through a really detailed planning process, so it didn't feel like I had any unknowns when I got to the wall. And then you're really kind of set free once you get out here and start working on your own wall.
Having to do our own piece on our own wall and combining it with everyone was like really fun, and I loved like including my own art style and something I'm really passionate about on the wall as well, and like it was really fun working on it.
The challenge I'd say is it's really hot. It's very, very hot. And also, I've never worked with this kind of medium before. I've never worked with acrylic before. I've never worked with a spray paint before. So that was challenging.
So I never worked on a project like this before, and I don't really like paint very, very often. I used to just do digital art. So when we got this project to actually start painting the blueprints onto the wall, it was very challenging. Just to recreate our piece on a wall, especially our own section of the wall with like not really like, you know, help from anyone, like a team or anything. So it was quite challenging just replicating it.
This piece is mostly about how I grew up, and I never got to see myself, and I never got to see women who look like me in cartoons like the Power Rangers or Wayne's Club or any like magical stuff. You don't have to wait till somebody puts out a cartoon or anime or series to see yourself in it. You can be whatever you want to be just by being yourself.
This is a little different. When I started to put things on, like the wall, like proportions, I was struggling with proportions a lot when I first started. Then I started getting the hang of it, and someone taught me how to use like the spray paint for the first time. I think I got the hang of it, and I really do love my art piece. This is so good.
Now that I have my own wall, and I had to go back and forth between like the background, and a lot of things went wrong. I had to figure it out, which is fun and frustrating too, but I am really happy with what I have, and I definitely learned a lot.
Well, for me personally, it was the amount of creativity that we were given. It's my first time drawing a face on a wall, so it was like, I want to push myself out of my comfort zone. I'm going to make it a challenge, you know? Because it's my piece, and I think I can do it, so.
You know what I'm also thinking about?
Yeah.
Like, maybe we can make, like, the strips, like, the individual rocks, like, closer together, so that way I can just spray it, like, all at once, and they're all next to each other already, and then I can just keep going with the same strip.
I mean, if you want to make it look more natural, though, I think you want to do it, like,
That's
one at a time. This will give you a lot more flexibility. It will take a little more work, right?
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
yeah, it'll come out more naturally, I think, if you do it this way. You can do a couple more sizes. Those are like 2 inches. We probably want to like have like 4 different sizes, so you've got that perspective that you're looking for. Put a couple more up and then stand back here and get a sense of what's happening.
Honestly, I've said this a million times, but like, it really did make this mural look so much better in the process, because sitting here and doing all the individual little rocks would have taken like hours.
Yes.
And even I have to go over with like little highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
This definitely saved me so much time.
Great.
It's so cool to work with you.
Yeah. No worries.
Thank you.
I'm glad it worked out. Okay.
See you next year, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, cool.
These kids are so serious. Like, really, like, it's, you can see they come here and they're like, from the very beginning when they're doing the drawings, working in Mana, coming here, they're just like serious about what they're doing.
The experience too, I think that's really important for the students to understand that these artists are giving back, but they're learning a lot from the students as well as, you know, sharing their knowledge.
How many kids do we have this year?
We have 17 total with assistants.
I didn't realize how competitive that is.
It's a really competitive program. Students come with their portfolios and you have conversations with them and really sit down and get to understand them as artists.
What's the theme for this year?
Each student has their own signature piece. There's a story behind each piece they chose to create then, and they signing their piece. And then what they have to do is to connect to their neighbor. That's how it become a collective artwork project. So here's a good example, this kind of thing, see? A lot of layers. And that's the kind I love it, how they learning how to join, right? This wasn't her piece. This piece here, we push here. And it's kind of what goes over, what goes behind, and it's making the connection.
Do they ever talk about like what they may have learned? Anything that they perhaps picked up from some of the artists that they spoke with and brought it to their work?
Going visit the students at Mana was like very special to make they think about what kind of career they want to do, pursue, what, you know, what do you do after you finish college? Where you find a job, right?
Right, the professional
So,
part of
yeah,
that,
so-
you know? The career, the business
Yeah.
side of it too.
And that's what I love being at Mana.
It's pretty amazing, Stephen. That's just 11 years that this is program.
Yeah.
It's like,
So it's,
really.
Duda's got a lot to do with it, obviously.
Well,
He's
I
like-
mean, you supporting all
yeah,
of this is huge.
I mean, obviously, the art office is very supportive, but Duda's been great.
1, 2, 3. Masterpiece!
All right, Duda, thank you.
Hey, thanks
I'll
so
see you guys
much,
soon.
man.
I'll see you when
Appreciate
it's done. Thank you, guys.